and welcome back to Imagine That News. Unfortunately, Alex can't be here this week, so she'll be reporting remotely.
This just in, a Taliban delegation met with Norwegian officials, allies, and other civil societies in Oslo to discuss human rights.
The Norwegian officials stated they are concerned with Afghanistan's humanitarian crisis, and the only way to resolve this issue is to collaborate with whoever's in charge.
The meeting put emphasis on humanitarian expectations and more specifically girls' education rights. The Taliban spokesperson even stated that he hoped this atmosphere of war will turn into a positive situation, and even tweeted that the country of Afghanistan needs to work together for better political, economic, and security outcomes.
While all of these touching words were said, the Norwegian officials stated that this meeting in no way, shape, or form legitimizes this group.
Anyways, China is still furious about Taiwan's diplomatic outpost in Lithuania, and further expressed this by blocking imports from Lithuania, as well as other economic restrictions.
The EU did not like this, however, because Lithuania is a small country part of their union, so they decided to settle the dispute through an arbitration through the WTO.
Lithuania is hopeful that China will cooperate and lift these restrictions, though China denies that they are even limiting Lithuania's exports and say that the case is groundless.
Well, this settlement could take several years, so let the expectation begin.
On to some more progressive news. Ayesha Malak became the first female Supreme Court judge in Pakistan.
Her accomplishments are being celebrated by Pakistani government and human rights activists. The Human Rights Commission stated this is an important step towards gender diversity in the judiciary, as women reportedly only account for 17% of judges.
This is an important step to help solve the human rights violations against women in Pakistan, as since her nomination, the court outlawed the invasive and medically discredited virginity tests performed on women.
A true model barrier breaker. Moving along to something a little more regional, recently a Floridian teacher got shipped a snowman from Kentucky.
In Tampa, Florida, a teacher decided to take action and let her students experience a little bit of winter wonderland, as Tampa, Florida has not seen snow in over 45 years.
This teacher called her sister, who lives in Kentucky, who recently had a snowfall, to build a little snowman and ship him off to Florida in some tinfoil and some styrofoam.
And he survived. The children named him Lucky, and they are planning on saving his melted remains to water plants on Earth Day.
Well, that's a little disturbing, but wow, I could never imagine that the snowman would have made it all that way without melting. I wonder what the public would think about this story.
On to the interview section.
If I told you that a snowman was shipped from New York all the way to Florida, would you believe me?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I feel like a lot of people are like making fake snow these days or like getting it shipped in, so like it doesn't really surprise me.
Well, you shouldn't have, because I lied. It was actually from Kentucky.
How far do you think a snowman could travel in the mail before it completely melted? I don't know, like 20 feet?
How many miles do you think it would take for a snowman to travel before it melted?
What temperature is it outside?
Last week temperature. In Kentucky.
Last week in Kentucky. That means the snowman might be able to travel.
He's going to Florida.
Oh, maybe like 10 feet?
Try 2,500 miles.
Imagine that.
Tune in next week.